We are excited for the next generation. That is all what we're about. Those of you that were here in the morning, I had a little bit of an outfit change for this session because it's going to be super important. But we're talking about investing in the next generation, and what a time to be alive, to be thinking about the next generation, right? We're in an environment of VUCA where there's a lot of volatility, uncertainty, ambiguity. And we're thinking about what do we need to do to future-proof the next generation. And of course, women are an important part of that. If you were here this morning, my name once again is Sarah Chen Spellings, co-founder and managing partner of Beyond the Billion, which was launched as the $1 Billion Fund for Women, the world's first and largest global consortium of venture funds. So to get started, let me turn first to the most impeccable, Jennifer, who started her career really as an engineer turned banker. And I hear that you started with a very much fixer-upper attitude, being exposed to the world of DIY and Lego blocks. And today you're using that tool set that you've built over the years, thinking about finance, capacity building, creativity, engineering, to engineer the future generation through education. How did you get started in this journey, and tell us more about your passion here, especially in investing in girls?
Great, thank you. So it's almost been 15 years in the education industry. And as Sarah shared, I'd come from finance. And when I stepped into education, what I really wanted to do was to bridge the gap from K-12 into what we call real world or the workplace. And back then, 2009, financial crisis, what I really saw was that need for adaptability, skills capacity, and that's how it started. Fast forward now, the same theme goes, but we're living in a digital world and things are changing very, very fast. And so those gaps that we're trying to close for K-12 is really in terms of like, how do we keep up with the pace of change in order to equip our future generation to be future ready? So at CTF Education Group, we are on that mission to empower the next generation to be future ready. And the work we do is focus on K-12, both in school management, operation, and advisory, but also looking at innovations in K-12 and just to see how we can bridge that gap.
So I want to come back to, sort of the gaps that you're seeing and how things are changing. But of course, top of the line, we're talking about from K-12 to the boardroom. Fiona, you've been at this for a while in many different ways. We were talking about the 30% club and quotas. Is that a solution in this market or not? So many topics we could cover. But maybe in the short amount of time that we have to really sort of power pack this session here, what have been the trends that have been encouraging from women in leadership? And are you seeing, you have a program of goals in STEM as well. Are you seeing the pipeline coming through in terms of the next generation?
Yeah, well, thanks. It's great to be here and talking about this topic. In terms of trends, right? So just to do a bit of baseline framing on that, we're still seeing real challenges for women and girls in Hong Kong and inequalities, right? We're still facing challenges in the pipeline. We have older women and working mothers, well, non-working mothers missing from the formal economy. We have 1 in 3 women who are experiencing sexual violence. We have so many challenges, and for women and girls who have particular racial background, ability background, socioeconomic background, those challenges are deep. So the challenges for women and girls are not just challenges for women, but for our whole economy and society. And so therefore, the benefits of gender equality help everyone. And this is actually, in terms of talking about trend, that's been a core focus for us at the Women's Foundation, to actually bring everyone along for systemic change and to make that point that gender equality is an imperative that benefits men, women, boys, girls, all genders, but also our economy. And we know that research shows that companies that prioritize gender equality have a circa 60% increase in profitability, productivity, attraction and retention of talent. That couples are happier when they're sharing household duties. So this is a trend, and people getting on board with that. We're seeing some positive signs, but there's more that we have to do. And we take an ecosystem approach to change involving all different stakeholders. As I said, different genders, different ages, academia, business, really coming together so we can address from the grassroots up to women on boards. So we're making some progress. People are getting their heads around this now, I think. I think in terms of board gender diversity, people are starting to say, why do I have to do this? What is it to how how can I do it? So that's the positive thing, that we're starting to see some mindset shifts, and that's the thing that excites me.
Yeah, and what still are some of the gaps that frustrate you?
Well, I think, similar to Jennifer, the gender gap in STEM is, it's a big one. We've launched a Girls Go Tech program in 2015, and we did some research on that gap and found that girls are 4 times less likely to take STEM subjects and careers than boys. And what's the reason for that? It's stereotypes, biases, lack of role models, support. And from girls from underprivileged backgrounds, though, that's exacerbated. So that's, we're making progress, and we think, our intervention is we're seeing results in terms of increased confidence, increased intention to study STEM, which is great. And but we need to obviously do more, particularly as we come into the new AI era. So I'd encourage everyone, invest in the next generation, as Jennifer's doing, as we're doing from an NGO perspective, because we really need to close that gap, particularly as we look forward on the trends that are coming.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and wishing you all the best.